We welcome you live to episode, no, not live. We welcome you to episode 28 of Battin and Chattin here in the Eastern Observer. Alongside Denis Tuohy, I'm Brandon Natale. Now, before we get started, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube to be kept in the loop on everything Eastern Observer, and most importantly, Battin and Chattin. Our show can be found on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and wherever else podcasts can be found. Dennis, how you doing tonight?
Doing okay. I'm eagerly awaiting where Yamamoto signs.
Yeah, I was talking to my coworker tonight, and she was saying to me, she's like, "He's not going. She's not going to the Mets. The Mets are in a rebuilding year." I'm like, "Okay, but like the Mets are heavily in it too, just as much as the Yankees." I don't know why. When Yankee fans tell me they're like, "Oh, he's not going to go to the Mets." Like, Mets are pretty heavily involved. I mean, tell me when Steve Cohen and David Stearns fly out to have French dinner with in Japan with Yoshi and his family, or I mean, you know. He wants to play with Kodai Senga. Well, if he had to play, if he had an option, I just think the Mets are definitely an option. I don't see otherwise. Like why they wouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times foreign pitchers and certainly hitters, it does take them about a year to kind of get used to the game over here. The ball is different. I've said this before. The ball is different. New stadiums and whatnot. Like there is a learning curve. So it's not unthinkable to think, even if the New York Mets are in a rebuild year, to bring in a player like that of that caliber at that age,
Right.
25 years old, to kind of learn the game now, get ready for their big push in 2025 and 6.
Mm.
So it's not unthinkable for the Mets to get it. I mean, you guys got the money. It's more or less the same market as the Yankees. I understand it's the same city,
Mm.
but the Yankees certainly are a more popular team. We all know that.
Right.
And
Yeah. Hey,
it's just,
yeah.
like it is what it is. But I don't think the Mets are out. I never thought they were out.
No, I'm not saying you. I mean, no, you make a
Yeah,
very good.
I
Yeah.
just think it's weird why people would immediately. I don't
I think
know.
it's because
I guess what it is a lot of people that are Yankees fans but not baseball fans. But there's a difference.
right.
I don't think they really I think they're hung up on what the Mets don't spend money and don't really understand the gravity of what has happened in the
Mm.
Cone era. Maybe that's it. Because that's one thing I have to say about baseball in comparison to what I've seen with football, basketball, and hockey is that hockey, most of the hockey fans I know are hockey fans. Most of the football fans I know are
Well,
football fans.
football fans.
Most of the basketball fans I know are basketball fans. Most of the baseball fans I know are not baseball fans. They're team fans. Met fans, Yankee fans, Philly fans, whatever. They don't follow the game nationally the way other fans do
Right.
with sports. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because baseball was always so regional based. If there's so many games, it's just easy to get lost in the shuffle and just easy to pick one story. I guess it was kind of like reading comic books. Instead of buying 20 comic books at a time, buy just Batman.
Just 5 minutes. Yeah.
Just buy Batman. And when
Yeah.
Batman has to work with Superman, you buy Batman and Superman. You don't
There
buy
you
all
go.
of Superman. I guess maybe that's the easiest way to
Mm.
think of it. If
Mm.
you're not with me, but it's I don't know. It's strange. It is. Have you noticed that trend at all? There's not really. I guess there is a way to quantify it, but I don't think anybody would waste the time to do it.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, for instance, I guess with hockey, like I'm an Islanders fan. I know
Mhm.
some hockey. Like I know some hockey,
Oh,
not a
I'm a
lot.
Devils fan. I am not an NHL fan, and even at this point in my life, like
Oh wow. Oh my
Devil
god.
fan. What?
No, the
Another Raider
Chargers.
touchdown?
No, Chargers scored another touchdown. They're making their score less.
21-63. Oh
But there's
my
a flag.
god.
There's a flag on the play.
Oh,
I know
I
this is a
say
baseball podcast, but it's Thursday
Chargers are
night, and
making a
obviously
run for it. No, but yeah, I'm a Devils fan. I am, and even that's very loose. After the lockout, they really lost me. I was so geeked up about being a Devils fan in middle school. I don't you and I we knew each other in middle school, obviously, but we weren't like homies. I
right.
was like a big Devils fan for a little bit.
Like Mike
Uh,
Sapone.
Oh well, yeah, like him and I. That's why I became a Devil fan. Him and Tony LaLuna used to talk about the
Yeah.
games at lunch, and then I was like, I gotta get in on this. I want to learn about why these guys are so stoked all the time. So I started watching the Devils that season. That's the year they went to the finals. So I've been a Devil fan since. That year after they went to the finals, what was that, 2013 or 14?
2012.
Yeah, that was when they went to the finals. So it would have been
Yeah,
12-13
they lost to the
season.
Kings.
Right. Oh, don't remind me.
I'm sorry.
Then we lost Ilya Kovalchuk. And don't get me started on that. I was like so amped until I guess 15-16 when they started to rebuild that 16-17 season. 15-16 season. I started to lose it a little bit.
Okay.
I think that might have been the year I actually went to the Devils game too. Devils Islanders
Okay.
and Matt Gustafson, my homie.
Mackos, yeah.
Yeah, we're
Mackos,
still
yeah.
homies. So yeah, I definitely see it more with hockey and baseball, but definitely baseball. Oh my god.
But yeah, no, like I said, I mean, but like, so I mean, there's people that know that there's hockey fans, and they know hockey, and then like I said, I'm an Islanders fan. I know, I know some of the players and some of the history, and but like, I mean, I couldn't tell you a lot of the hockey history. Like, I could tell you football
Oh
players from like the '70s, the '60s, maybe the '20s. That's how deep I am with with football. And baseball, I feel like it's
yeah.
so knowledgeable. And you know me, you know how big I am with football. Baseball
Oh
too. I
yeah.
mean, I try to be like that with baseball. I mean, baseball, the history spans freaking since like the Civil War, if I'm correct.
Yeah. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was like a savant with baseball. I was you'd be surprised. I memorized. I have a book, Sports Illustrated's top 100 greatest baseball players of all time. This was made in 1999, 98.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and I have it. I had it as a kid. I got it from my uncle who was not a sports fan. He gave it to me. He gave me all of his books. And I got it when I was a kid and I memorized the whole 100 in order. So I could talk about Mickey Cochran and Cool Papa Bell and I don't know,
Oh my God.
like guys people like around our age have never heard of, guys from like the Negro Leagues or from the 30s and 40s. When I was younger, I could just like go in depth about it. Now, not so much. I kind of deleted a lot of that in my mind to make space for like NBA stuff and NFL stuff. Very limited NFL stuff.
Well, I feel like now you can use that knowledge now.
Yeah, yeah,
There you go.
certainly.
See?
So the NHL history, like I can go back like literally to like when I started watching, and that's it.
Yeah.
I tried really hard to understand more about the hockey's history, and I just kind of got lost in it.
Yeah. But let me tell you, with the Yashimoto, I mean, it definitely, I mean, because now I
Yamamoto.
saw the Phillies jumped in. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. You know, I'm plugged in with the
Crazy.
Phillies.
Everyone wants this guy now. I feel like well, he's meeting with everybody. I feel like he's just trying to see like what each team has to offer.
Yeah. You know what it is? And I'm not trying to be prickly. Blake Snell, I don't know what the deal is with him. Because he's
I know,
the
yeah.
only real free agent left starting pitchers. Listen, I understand people will say there's so and so out,
Montgomery.
there's so and so out, Montgomery, but like in terms of elite upside or however you want to word it, there really is not too many guys left, right? Am I crazy? MLB free agents. I should always have this up. I don't know why I didn't have this up already. 2023. There's like a chart on MLB.com that has where everybody's going and whatnot and what their wins above replacement was last season. And for starting pitchers, we've gone through this a few weeks in a row here. But starting pitchers, there is such a fall off. Aaron Nola, he already re-signed with the Phillies. Blake Snell. And then Sonny Gray signed. Then Jordan Montgomery, Clayton Kershaw, Brandon Woodruff. And then you're dropping off from perennial all-stars to, and honestly, even saying Jordan Montgomery is a perennial all-star is a little generous. Then you start dropping off to guys that are way past their prime or maybe had a good season, decent upside types. Like from Brandon Woodruff, we get Marcus Stroman, 33 years old. Kyle Gibson, 36, signed with the Cardinals. Martin Perez, 33 from the Rangers. He didn't re-sign yet. Julio Urias is 27 and a demon on the pitcher mound, but also has a lot of baggage that comes along with him. Off-field legal stuff. Michael Wacha, Eduardo Rodriguez signed with the Diamondbacks. We'll get to that later. Seth Lugo with the Royals. Zach Greinke, 40 years old. He wants to play again. He's told teams he wants to play again. I don't know if he will. Lucas Giolito, very inconsistent. Michael Lorenzen, kind of don't know what you're getting from him. Mike Clevenger has fallen off drastically since the COVID year. Rich Hill, 44 years old. Like, it is not good. It's not a deep crop at all. Tyler Mahle just signed with the Rangers. Lance Lynn, Corey Kluber, Carlos Carrasco, Sean Manaea, Frankie Montas, Alex Wood, Jack Flaherty, who signed with the Tigers earlier this afternoon. Johnny Cueto, Noah Syndergaard, Wade Miley signed with the Brewers, Kenta Maeda, Dakota Hudson, Zach Davies. Stop me when I get to like a player that you'd be stoked about your team getting. It's just, it is what it is. Jose Urena, 33-year-old Madison Bumgarner, who was unplayable for 3 years. Spencer Turnbull.
Didn't Yankees trade for Montez or no?
Montas, they non-tendered him. He's a free agent.
Mm.
Same kind of deal with Brandon Woodruff with the Brewers. James Paxton. Honestly, like I was talking about this with a buddy of mine, I guess 2 days ago now. I was looking like Hyun-Jin Ryu at 37 years old suddenly isn't so bad because when he played last year, he was half decent. Rich Hill always eats innings. Like you could talk yourself into some of these guys, but none of them. These guys all got Central Division written all over them. Like, like there's teams in the I know it was just dunking on people who aren't fans of the league and just a fan of the team. But when you turn on like a Central Division game and you just see like, this guy's on this team? This guy's still playing? What?
Yeah.
When I was in elementary school, I used to watch a ton of White Sox games. White Sox and Cubs games every weekend. I would watch White Sox and Cubs games. And I would just be like, who is this guy?
Who's this guy?
Yeah. Especially back then, both teams were not good. This was actually probably middle school, like fifth to seventh grade. I had WGN, or whatever the channel was, the Chicago channel on TV. And I used to watch a ton of White Sox games. I was locked in. Watching Carlos Quentin and Paul Konerko slapping around a little. Yeah.
That sounds lit.
But yeah, there's like nobody left. So Yamamoto, hey man, 25 years old, ace in Japan. Those translate over very well. And why not? Why not? Like, I get it. If you're a team, you should be in on this guy. As a Yankee fan, I'm a little ticked off because now that's another competitor, the Phillies. But at the same time, too, you're trying to win. Especially the Phillies don't need him. The Phillies, I think, should be prioritizing other things.
Can the Dodgers stay away from star players for once in their lives?
Well, we might as well just get the ball rolling, right?
Yeah. Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
It's official. You are a Los Angeles Dodger.
Yep. Two-way superstar Shohei Ohtani signed a record-breaking 10-year, $700 million contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. This absurd contract has an unprecedented $680 million in deferred payments, meaning Ohtani is only on the books for $2 million a year from this upcoming season, 2024, until 2033. From 2034 to 2043, Showtime will make $68 million a year, regardless if he's on the Dodgers or not. And there is an opt-out. He is allowed to opt out if they fire the general manager or president of baseball operations.
So either
Andrew
way,
Friedman and another guy.
So either way, he's gonna get that money regardless for the next for that
Oh
period
yeah,
of time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the opt-out, the specifics of that, because it seemed a little bogged in jargon and whatnot. But it seems like he can basically just dip if they get rid of the infrastructure of the team. Why not? No, I mean, listen, I get it. I get it. The dude's a bucket. He's a bucket and a half.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
mean,
Wait, where does
I just think that's
these lines?
crazy. I didn't, I think people are more shocked at the fact that all that money's getting deferred. He's only getting 2 million just so the Dodgers can still spend.
I mean,
So
I listen. First and foremost, I think we do need to do some justice to him. He hit, I don't know, OPS plus of 184 last season. League average is 100. He had 44 home runs, 10 wins above replacement, and he only played 135 games. 44 home runs in 135 games. He led the American League in home runs in 135 games played. That's insane. He led the league in OPS plus, led the league in total bases, led the league in OPS, led the league in slugging, OBP, and 135 games. That is crazy.
yeah,
Dude, that's what? He missed 47 games?
he missed a big chunk of
Like
this,
that's
big chunk of the year,
yeah, that's not nothing, man. That's not nothing.
and he didn't. I think what's crazy is that New York and either New York teams didn't bother to make an offer. I mean, because he said he didn't. He
Well,
he said he preferred not to have come here, so they figured, all
yeah.
right, they're like, let's not waste our time.
I think that's what it was. I don't think it's that they disliked him. The Yankees really liked him when he was in Japan. I remember that.
Yeah, wait. So what
But
happened with that? The Yankees, he
I don't
didn't stay.
know. I don't know. I don't know. I know when he first came out, he wanted to be on the West Coast, supposedly.
Right.
But then I remember Michael Kay had said once that he I guess they're sitting near each other at a dinner, Otani and Michael Kay, and they were just
Wow.
kind of chit chatting, and Otani was surprised when Michael Kay said the Yankees really wanted him, like really wanted him, and so I don't know if it was something with the agent or I don't know. I'm not reporting
It's
on that. I'm just kind of reading
what you've
between the
heard.
lines of a
Yeah.
story I saw on I think I watched. He said it numerous times, Michael Kay. So I believe him. He said it on his radio show a bunch of times. Anytime Otani came up and like the future of the Yankees wanting him, maybe he said it a bunch. So I kind of got familiar-ish with the story from his point of view, and like I always did find that interesting. Like I expected. I've been saying for a while, and I've been telling you, I expected the Yankees to get him because of that. Like if they really wanted him, they would get him. But I guess he doesn't want to play for New York. Play in New York. I don't know why.
I think
I
obviously because of the
know
time difference, and they said people in Japan they
it,
could actually watch him. Like,
it could be that. Like I know Tanaka left the baseball because his family during COVID.
mm,
Not only did they want to be home and were worried about the state of things, I remember now. Once again, this could also be incorrect, but I
mm,
remember reading. I don't know how accurate the report was that a lot of the anti-Asian sentiment during COVID forced Tanaka out of the league. That
yeah,
his family wanted nothing to do with it. They wanted to leave.
yeah. No, I
Once
mean, hey,
again, I don't know how true that is. I've only read that a few different times and never from like a Ken Rosenthal or a
right,
Jeff
right.
Passan or somebody. But like it was something that I'd seen a bunch. So I don't know if maybe that played a role into it. That maybe he just wasn't comfortable playing in New York
Right. No, I
in
get
that
that. No, I
regard.
get that. I mean, if
Which
that,
I don't, as an on the outside looking in, I wouldn't understand because Hideki Matsui had like a great career here. Ichiro loved playing here. Hiroki Kuroda is fine here. Like we had guys for a while, and even Tanaka himself. Like I thought the Yankees organization always did right by him, but I don't know. I don't know why he doesn't want to. He didn't want to play for New York. Especially, he'll get Magambo numbers, not just in endorsements, but the short porch and right. Sheesh. Otani's swing is like made for Yankee Stadium, dude.
mm.
So I don't know.
It's definitely really interesting. I mean,
What do you
I
think
about what?
about the whole thing?
The whole thing. I mean,
I talked for a while. I still have more thoughts on the contract.
no, I don't
What do you
care.
think?
I don't care. Let your thoughts away. I'm not gonna stop you.
Well,
Unless I would. Unless I will. But
all
no,
right.
you're fine.
So
With the Tanaka stuff, definitely. No, I mean, if that's a shame. If those. I mean, no, I'm saying like I get it. Just it's a shame those people had to make those anti-Jap
yeah, it was an
comments.
awful time because you were hearing
Yeah.
reports all the
So I
time,
get
man.
why
It was awful in New
I get why
York.
Tanaka left. And I
Yeah,
hope wherever he is, I hope he's doing well. With the
he
whole
just
Shea,
pitched. He just pitched in Japan
hey, good for
last
him.
season.
I mean, I remember when he came to the Yankees when he first came up, it was huge. I remember he was going nuts, and I think he just got injured, and that was kind of really he was just like not the same, I guess, if I'm wrong.
So he was on the roster. He took 2020 off to get arm surgery because there's the COVID year. But
Right,
then his family wanted to go back. They didn't like being in New York anymore.
right,
Supposedly, that's the story. Once again, you never know what's true and what's not true, but that's the story supposedly.
yeah. But
And
anyways,
I remember
yeah,
reading.
with the whole Shohei, I mean, first off, good for congratulations to him. I mean, sheesh, is he loaded in Scrooge McDuck money or what? Like, oh my god. So I mean, and I think
It's
credit to him
insane.
because that he's able to defer all that money just so the team could win. You know, um, good for him. Shows how much he cares for the team. I mean, hey, he wanted the money, no doubt about it. It's $700 million. Like it's the most in like American sports. Beats Pat Mahomes' contract in football. Um, I think people, like I said, people are shocked that the money's a lot of the money's deferred. I mean, hey, we will get into that more later. I know we've already discussed some of that. Um, a lot of people saying, all this just for them to lose in the first round of the playoffs. You know, I like to see, I like to see what they can do. They Dodgers, they're like building a super team. Imagine if you would have said to them 10 years ago. Because remember when they were broke, barely had anything, and now you look at the Dodgers now. They freaking gave out the biggest contract in MLB history, which is insane. That's insane and ridiculous. And just you know, Shohei is this was one of the biggest like question marks or just biggest news stories ever, like in free agency. Like, where's Shohei Ohtani going to go? It's like when you're talking about where A Rod's going to go, or
Yeah.
I mean, not even I wouldn't say Jacob Degrom, but I wouldn't compare it to that. I'm just like I'm thinking of or where Garrett Cole's going to go. It was obvious he was going to go to the Yankees, and it's similar like this. People knew he was going to go to the Dodgers. It was known for a long time.
Right. I think a lot of people, I think everybody kind of knew he was going to wind up going to the Dodgers, but nobody wanted it to be true. Nobody wanted it to be true. I honestly, as a baseball fan, I would have rather have seen him gone to the Blue Jays. People that say that it's good for baseball he didn't go for the Blue Jays, I kind of can't take seriously. I can't take them seriously at
Why
all.
would I don't know why the Blue Jays were considered. I mean, hey, good for them, but I mean, I don't think it
Like,
would have made any sense.
I mean, like, when we talked about this last week, it's not like they're a broke team. They have money to spend, and they have spent money in the past. They got 2 rings out of it with a lot of hired guns. Dave Winfield, Ricky Henderson, Paul Mallador. Like they brought in hired guns in the 90s, and it worked out great for them. Jack Morris. We can keep going. So it's not uncommon for them to do it. Like I get it. I get it. You're trying to win a championship. I understand it. I honestly think it'd be like good for baseball to have like the Canadian super team to get, instead, like when they dude, when they I remember we talked about this earlier in the season. Oh, it's in my mic. Sorry. Earlier in the season, we were just talking about there was a report of possible destinations to relocate to.
Mm,
Nashville, bore.
okay.
Charleston, really? What was the other one? Charlotte, really? Because I remember one of my hosts, Carolina rant. Vegas. Oh, well, look how that panned out.
Mm.
But it's like there's so many Canadian cities that they can go to. Montreal. I've been to Montreal. I'll tell you what, folks. If you want a fun time, go to Montreal. Hard not to have a fun time there. Vancouver, Calgary. Like there's there's bigger city, like there's big cities in Canada that if they had investment, I'm sure that they would try to put teams out there, man. Like I kind of, to just, I feel like Canada has been like very mistreated by baseball, very mistreated. I mean, like literally, they were a big part of why there was the lockout or the strike in the 1994. People were worried that the Montreal Expos and Toronto Blue Jays were bad for baseball.
Mm.
So, like that's not me making it up. It's just it's always been talked about that
Right.
was a part of that whole thing. It was the Blue Jays won 2 rings. The Expos, you want to talk about a loaded roster? Oh my God! You had Pedro Martinez, Larry Walker, Randy Johnson was gone at that point, but you had Delino DeShields, I think, was still there. Cliff Floyd, yeah, John Olerud. Like you had
Cliff
guys
Floyd.
that, yeah, he was a rookie.
Oh,
You
so yeah,
had
no, not
guys
not
that
the
were like,
Phillies. I'm thinking of when he was last in the majors. Pedro's last season was on the
this
Phillies.
was 1994 that their team was. Look it up, dude. Look at household name players on that
Randy
roster.
Johnson too.
Yeah,
Jesus.
well, he was gone by then,
Okay.
but still, like their team was loaded. And you could go back to it, and you could find articles that say like, "Is this good for baseball?" The Montreal Expos being first place. Like people were not happy about it. People were not happy when the Blue Jays won championships. But at the same time, too, it's like not for nothing. Anybody can go out there and buy a ring. Like I have no issue with the Dodgers. With the Dodgers doing this, bringing in a hired gun like Ohtani. Like, I have no problem with it. If you have the money, spend it. Yeah, like I'm sick and tired of the penny saving of some of these teams, and I bash the Midwest teams all the time. I'm not trying to sound like a coastal elitist, but let's not kid ourselves. All of these guys have $700 million and up in their bank accounts. All of these owners, and not only that, the teams that go over the luxury tax, the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, the Padres, the Braves, all those teams, that money gets redistributed to the teams that don't. When the Yankees play the Guardians are paying for the Guardians' payroll. This isn't me coming up with it.
Yeah.
Any team could do this.
I agree.
The Cincinnati Reds, they're still paying Ken Griffey Jr., who's the 4th highest paid Cincinnati Red last season. Hasn't played for them since what, 2008?
Right.
Or 7, 6, one of those 3
Yeah.
years.
Cliff Floyd was he was a first round pick. He was 14th overall in the 1991 draft.
Yeah, his first season though in the bigs, I think was 94. Am I right on that, or is that his second year?
His second year. His first year was in '93. Because I guess he came up maybe in like September call up because he had like 10 games, or if I'm correct.
Click on the 1994 roster on his Baseball Reference. You'll see. I'm not lying. That was a loaded team.
Right now I'm on the '94 Montreal Expos. They got players like Marquise Grissom, Larry Walker, Butch Henry, Will Cordero, Ken Hill, Jeff Fasaro, Pedro Martinez. Okay. John Wiedelin,
He was one of the best closers of the 90s.
Tim Scott, Mel Rojas. Yeah, this is a team.
They had, I think, was Moises Alou on that team?
Say,
was Moises Alou on that team? One of the Alous?
What position? Yes, he's left field. He was a left fielder.
Yeah, they were loaded. So I guess I think they got Delino DeShields for Pedro Martinez, or they got rid of Delino DeShields for Pedro Martinez to the Dodgers.
Yeah,
but yeah, whatever. That's off topic, way off topic.
No,
but
hey, I mean, you got to talk. You got to bring it up.
Yeah, like the whole Ohtani thing. I'm alright with it. Any other team could do this. Like, don't kid yourselves. This isn't a Dodger only thing. Any other team could do this. The Yankees could do this tomorrow with Soto or Yamamoto if they felt like it. If Cody Bellinger wants to be paid when he's in his 40s instead of his 30s and 20s, he can do this tomorrow. And the Pirates can do it. The Rockies can do it. The Marlins can do it. Like, it doesn't have to just be all the rich teams in quotes. The problem is all those other teams like the Rockies and the Marlins and the Pirates don't care about winning championships. That's why they don't. It's why they don't spend. When's the last time the Pirates had a marquee free agent? I understand they just got
Uh,
Rowdy Tellez. Let's throw the ticker tape parade. What about the Guardians? What about the Rays? As a Yankee fan, if the Rays went all in on one free agency, on one free agent class, they'd win the World Series. Easy. Easy, they would. The way they develop pitching. You just need the hitters. Not hard. That's the easy part, getting the hitters. Pitchers, anybody they call up instantly performs. Any team could do it. I have no problem with the Dodgers doing it. That being said, I do think the league needs to have some kind of rule in place that 35 to 45% of the AAV has to be counted in the tax of a contract. The luxury.
Yeah, they're gonna have to, because the
whatever it is.
Dodgers. I mean,
Because that. I don't know the math. I wasn't good at math, guys, but that's ridiculous. $2 million out of 70. That's absurd. If it was 35, if he deferred half the contracts of $350 million, he got paid 35 for 10, 35 for another 10. Nobody's batting an eye. You know, it's fine. $2 million? That's ridiculous. Come on. I do think, and hey, listen, once again, not Dodgers specific. The exact same deal was offered to the Giants. The Giants offered the exact same deal. He picked the Dodgers. So
why does he think the Giants can't land any big marquee free agents? What's going on with that? I mean, I feel like over the past couple of years, and really only the past couple of years, they've just been having trouble landing the big name free agent. It's
you ready for it?
Let me hear it.
One, it's come out that players don't like San Francisco.
Really?
Not the Giants, San Francisco. People don't like it. Buster Posey has mentioned that he had a hard time recruiting players when he was on the team because the reputation of San Francisco.
Won, though. Even though they've won, I mean,
not me.
Nice ballpark. The ballpark is decent. I mean, I've never been there.
Listen,
but
I follow on social media. I follow all the on Reddit and stuff like that. I follow all the teams' fan bases, so I know what people are thinking about big news. Giants fans, this is not new for them. They've heard this 100 times, probably more. The other thing I think that bothers players, they don't have a sense of direction. They don't. Last year, you fire your manager after having that kind of season, an overachieving season. They didn't have a pitching rotation. Dude, their pitching rotation was Logan Webb, Alex Cobb, and a Hail Mary 3 times a week. You're going to start 3 openers a week minimum? Dude, if I'm a player, I can't take you seriously. I can't.
Right.
If I'm Ohtani, I can't take you seriously. Jung-Hoo Lee, maybe that's a step in the right direction. They still have 5 or 6 other outfielders on their roster that they aren't trading. But sure, that's great. You get another one. For what? They're a directionless team. They're hard to take seriously, I think, the players. Because you're right. You're absolutely right. Like the Giants, this should be like this giant Dodger rivalry of 2 budding star teams. You know, the old ace Clayton Kershaw versus the young one, Logan Webb. Like there could be storylines. Lee, the Korean sensation, Ohtani, the Japanese sensation.
Right. They did get that.
Like a battle of, like the Asian superstars. Like that would sell. You don't think that would sell TV deals in Asia when those teams are playing? You know? So like there's ways that they can market it. The problem is, aside from Jung-Hoo Lee and Logan Webb, I don't care about one player on their roster.
Yeah, they did make that big splash, though,
Camilo Duvall, the closer, he's pretty good. The pitcher, Patrick Bailey, he's pretty good. He had a very impressive season. They thought Joey Bart was going to be the catcher of the future. He had some kind of spurts where he was good last season, but overall has been very disappointing since the departure of Buster Posey. The problem was, to be honest with you, they really kind of tricked themselves after what, 21, when they had that insane season, and they went back, or was that 22 when they went back and forth with the Dodgers? It might have been 2022.
I think it was 22. Yeah.
Yeah, they went back and forth with the Dodgers. They wound up winning the division. They played each other in the playoffs. Do you remember the huge bat that came down to? The huge slugger that was at bat for the last out of the series? Do you remember who it was? Former Met on the
Was
Giants. Utility man.
JD Davis?
No. No, think even better than that. Think superstars. I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, definitely not Angel Pagan.
No.
Michael Conforto.
No. Wilmer Flores.
Damn it!
That's one of their most productive hitters.
How do I not
Nothing
get
against
that?
Wilmer
How did I not
Flores.
get
I've
that?
loved him since he was on the Mets. I've always loved Wilmer Flores. That's one of your best hitters on another program.
Right?
I do,
Yeah.
not affiliated with this company. I have a joke about Mark Canha was the best player on the Brewers, and they traded him. Their lineup is terrible. I went at them for like 5 minutes the other day. You could do the same thing with the Giants. Like Mike Yastrzemski can't hit left-handed pitching. Dominates over right-handed pitching. You platoon him, and it's the other guy he shares time with isn't so good. I remember they had Chris Bryant. They let him go to the Rockies. Granted, that deal to the Rockies, no clue why they ever even offered it, let alone how that got.
It was an offer that it was an offer you couldn't refuse.
Evidently, it's just, man. Let me look them up right now, because you do bring up a good point. Like the Giants, they could have gotten Judge. They missed out on him. Like they're missing out on everybody. They're linked. Correa. That I don't really blame them. They had a deal in place. It was just the physical.
I don't really feel like Aaron Judge to the Giants. Like who would have? I couldn't just picture that. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be able to picture that. Like Aaron Judge to the Giants. Nothing against the Giants, but it's just like he's more known as a Yankee. Like,
the good thing is,
oh,
I'm sorry. Continue.
No, go on. Good thing is what?
Patrick Bailey. He was pretty good for some chunks last season as a catcher. He batted .233, 7 home runs, 48 RBIs, OPS plus 77. Not good, but for a 24-year-old catcher, not the end of the world. Lamont Wade Jr., 29 years old, 119 OPS plus. Pretty good. Wilmer Flores, that's what I'm saying. Wilmer Flores, 284, 136 OPS plus, 23 home runs, 60 RBIs. Very productive season. Also, perennial waiver wire guy you can get any week during fantasy baseball. Nobody can hold on to him because he's that streaky. Mike Yastrzemski, the same thing. They just don't have anybody. Casey Schmidt had some good moments last year. It didn't really stick. David VR, they have young players, but they're not producing offensively. And then their pitching staff isn't much better. Alex Cobb and Logan Webb and Anthony DeSclafani. They have 3 pitchers listed as primary starters on Baseball Reference. Teams usually have like 5 or 6. Alex Wood, Sean Manaea. These are some of the other guys starting games for them. Ross Stripling, a career reliever. Jacob Junis. There's so many openers. How do you attract free agents that way, man? How do you attract free agents that way? You should be rebuilding. Trade some of these guys. Mike Yastrzemski's 32 already. Wilmer Flores is 31. What are you saving them for? I like Blake Sable. He's pretty good. 25-year-old utility man, but
right.
They have guys that are decent. Why are you holding on to them, man?
But either way, back to Ohtani. I mean, I think definitely really good pick up on the. I think it's going to be interesting to see how he plays now at Citi Field. I would like to see Senga go against Ohtani. That's going to be fun. That'd be pretty interesting. Another Dodgers move though that they made though was obviously they just traded for Tyler Glasnow. They keep adding. So do you think that takes him out of Yoshi?
Yes, because the trade is conditioned on Tyler Glasnow signing an extension that I haven't seen yet. I don't know if it's been signed. Tyler Glasnow. I'll look it up. Dodger extension. 13 hours ago. All right. So they're hoping that he signs an extension Friday. They also got Manuel Margot for Ryan Peapot and outfield prospect Johnny DeLuca. Johnny DeLuca, I'm not too familiar on. But Ryan Peapot had a 2.76 ERA in 43 major league appearances. It's pretty good.
I know Manuel
So,
Margot. I know he was a player that they said the Mets should trade for. But I just
yeah, I kind of, he's not great, but I do think he's like pretty decent. Like he's acceptable. He's a center fielder, glove first guy. Not like a great hitter, but he's had moments. He's like a little under league average in OPS plus. The league average is 100. He's 91. He's a glove first kind of a guy. 2022, he did okay. 89 games, not much. 104 OPS plus, 47 RBIs. He's decent. His career batting average 255. He hit 264 last year. He's a decent off the bench guy, and a part of one of my favorite moments in live sports when he got distracted by a fist fight in Yankee Stadium and dropped the ball.
we were there for that.
We were right there for it.
We were right there for that.
It led to an Andrew Benintendi triple. How can I forget?
Yeah, I'm never gonna forget that. That was a great game though.
How can I forget?
I know
And
we
I'm
had a
sure
two-
nobody knew except him that he got distracted by a fist fight in the stands. I saw it on his face. He was tracking the ball, heard commotion, looked over and went, "Wait, what?" Like one of those kinds of reactions.
Everybody did.
I could have sworn. I could have sworn. I felt like I heard him say "WTF" out loud.
What the
The whole
fuck?
thing. Yeah, I swear I heard him say it.
That was that was a great game though. I mean, we
Which
had
I
fun
don't
with
blame
that.
him. If you're tracking a ball and a fist fight breaks out,
Look, anytime you go to the bleacher
Come
section
on.
of Yankee Stadium, as a Mets fan, I have to say
It's an adventure.
it's crazy. It's an adventure. I mean, like I said, we seen a man get a haircut.
Same
We saw,
game.
we saw a brawl. The same game.
Same game.
They were doing random. They were doing other stuff. I forgot what they were doing, but it
It's
was
weird stuff. One kid was wearing a DeGrom jersey. You know how I feel about that. It
yeah.
was
And
a
I've
Rays
talked
Yankee
about
game.
it.
It raised Yankees game. It was a little weird. I did think some people were being.
Well, some people when I went to the Jets Giants game, there was some people wearing Giants stuff.
Jets Giants, yeah. That
No
makes sense.
Jets. Oh, when I was at the Jet Dolphin game.
Oh,
There's people wearing
That's
a
a little
Giant. There's
weird.
some Giants fans. Yeah, but
that is
guess
a
people
little
still
weird.
want to do that. I don't know. But
I briefly considered you and I are going to the Winter Classic?
yeah,
Or
went to Stadium Series. Yeah,
whatever it's called now. Islander Rangers. I was considering wearing my Devils jersey, my Dougie Hamilton jersey, but I was like, no.
what are you gonna wear?
I would just like a hoodie. I have a Giants hoodie, maybe I'll wear.
I mean,
I'm not going to buy Ranger Islander gear. If there's like a hat or something like that has like a commemorative like Stadium Series thing, I might buy a Ranger hat. Or maybe I'll buy like some.
Right.
Like,
I'm sure there's definitely going to be like some
dad,
Stadium
but
Series merchandise. There's definitely going to be like some Stadium Series merchandise.
yeah.
Or I would consider buying a hat. I don't know if I'd buy like a. I don't know if they got their own jerseys. Like you know how like.
Oh, they do. They do have their own jerseys and such, but yeah, I don't know because I'm not a Ranger fan or an Islander fan. I own a Mets hat. I own a Mets jersey.
Mm.
I don't know. Have you ever seen me rock the Mike Piazza jersey?
I'm not sure. Maybe
I
once
have.
before. But back to Manuel Margot. I mean, but no, I just remember that. No, that game was that was a big brawl.
Strange.
I think The whole
Yeah.
stadium was
Like, listen,
watching.
I'm not saying it to break his
Even
balls. Like,
Benintendi,
it was
yeah,
definitely like defensible to get distracted by it.
even Benintendi
100%.
was distracted. He
Yeah,
got
could
hit.
have been. So, just for argument's sake here, Tyler Glasnow,
Yeah, Tyler
7th career
Glasgow.
WAR, way lower than it should be.
Okay.
Injury prone his entire career. Most games played he ever had was 45, but only 11 starts in 2018, which feels kind of odd. I thought he was in the league way longer than that. 2016, he made his debut. But with the Rays, 12 games started in 2019, 12 games played, 11 games played, 14 games played, 11 games played in 2020, so the full season. 14 games played in 21, 2 games played in 22, Tommy John surgery, 21 last year. Last year, 353 ERA plus 118. Like, he's elite when he plays, but the when he plays will always be there with him.
Mm. Yeah, like I said, we don't condone any brawls or any fights here, so we won't talk about that too much. Like I said, good for the Dodgers. Now, what's their rotation now? They got Kershaw, Otani, maybe
Bueller.
when he's
Well,
healthy. Bueller,
Kershaw hasn't officially signed yet, but we all know.
we all know.
Glasnow, Bueller,
He's
Bobby Miller,
yeah, Bobby Miller. That's another good player that
Redhead,
got called up.
Dustin May. At some point, Otani.
You saw that right in my room with the lights.
Yeah, I thought my light flicked too. I couldn't tell if it was the reflection from your screen or my lamp next to me.
Anyways, but you know,
That's
good for
nuts. Maybe
like I
we're on
said.
the
I
same
just
grid.
this thing I just want to see from the Dodgers. They can make all these signings. They can do all this all they want, but are they going to start winning in the play like in October
They
when it
gotta
matters most?
they gotta win
Like, what's going on here?
in the next 10 years. They gotta win 3 World Series minimum.
That's a lot. They have a
I
lot of
don't
high
think
like
for this team in this league now, I don't think that's a lot.
like people think that the Dodgers. No, people think like the New York media is tough, but like in LA, it's not that's not any better. You know,
It's not any better for the Dodgers and Lakers. I don't think anybody gives a flying you know what about the Kings, Chargers, Rams, Clippers.
it's
I
more about the
don't think
Lakers and
anybody
the
cares.
Dodgers.
Nobody cares about the Angels. I don't.
Because well, the Lakers they took over, like the Lakers and the Dodgers, they took over the LA,
Yeah,
LA sports this
I mean, like,
sports market.
let's be honest. They haven't been able to hold on to a football team.
I don't know why I
Like,
would have seen the
USC is
Rams
the most
there.
popular California football team.
I would have seen the Rams. Like I think they were considerable to move, but I don't think the Chargers. I think the Chargers should have stayed in San Diego. I think that was one of the worst things
Yeah,
they ever
because
could have did. Because
they can't
why does
attract the
LA?
crowd to begin
Yeah,
with.
why does LA need two teams?
They don't need one, Brandon. Have you seen the crowds?
For the
I know we
Chargers
don't.
games, yes, but
We try not to talk too much football here, but same thing with the Raiders. The Raiders have been last in attendance since they moved to Vegas. More, we'll get to that later on.
my dad and my mom, they were just in Vegas,
Really?
and they said that there's a lot of fans that have season tickets, but they tend to sell them.
Right.
I guess because maybe they make more money selling them instead of, you know,
Well, people do that just in general.
um, you know, but
Go to the games you want to go to, and you sell the ones you don't. Makes
right,
sense.
yeah, but like I don't think, but they don't. There's a lot of them, yeah, like you said, they don't. A lot of them don't go because they just, they rather sell them than, um. But yes, I mean, the Dodgers, they got a lot going on. I mean, Dave Roberts, I feel like this could be like, I feel like his seat's a little hot. This could be this season to perform.
I like Dave Roberts. If they don't win a World Series this year, he's got to be fired. I like him, but dude, enough saying you got there. And listen, I know they won in 2020. I'm not one of those people that whines, "Hey, where's your real ring?" You have no control over a freaking disease. Come on. smarten up a little bit. I think their ring is more legitimate than the Lakers ring, personally.
Why do you
Because
think
because baseball is a marathon, not a sprint. So literally the entire sport was changed for a season. And they adapted. And not only that, you look at the Dodgers before and after, it's not like they sucked, won a ring, and then sucked again. Like the Marlins in 03, for example, when they won a ring. If that happened in a shortened season, then I'd say, yeah, paper champion. But the Dodgers, is it really unthinkable that Corey Seager's last season or second to last season, whatever it was, they win a ring when you still have, a loaded bullpen, a loaded starting rotation, loaded lineup, Mookie Betts first year on the team? Like, is it really unthinkable that the Dodgers would have won? I understand you can never predict what would happen, but come on.
I kind of believe
Come
that.
on.
I kind of believe that the Lakers were going to win it in 19-20. I kind of had the feeling they were going to win it.
Really? That's interesting.
So either way, they won it either way, regardless of the lockout.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter what I'd say, but they got to win another one, man. The Dodgers, they got to win 3 more.
They have the team. They have the team to do it. Like how does the Diamondbacks make it and they don't?
Let's be polite. Let's stop being polite. How do the Diamondbacks humiliate you and embarrass you in 3 games or 4 games or whatever it was? Like,
I just think
really. I was making jokes about Brandon Fad. I called him batting practice Brandon because his stats were terrible in the regular season. Not right. A little rude, sure. But now, hey, anytime I see him, I'll call him batting practice Brandon. And it'll be me roasting myself because that dude was a bucket and a half in the postseason. But how does he thoroughly outduel Clayton Kershaw? One of my favorite players ever. And by the way, James Outman, who was playing center field for Clayton Kershaw that game, wasn't exactly Gary Maddox out there. All right. Like, he didn't get charged an error on one of those plays that led to a run or two. He totally should have. Totally should have. They're just actually applying to be a scorekeeper at one of the baseball stadiums earlier this evening.
Okay,
and
nice.
if I was there and somebody said that wasn't an error, I would have come to blows with my coworkers over that. That was blatant. And I know everybody would be like, but Dennis, it's because you have a Clayton Kershaw jersey right over there off camera. That's like, like it really was like I could listen. At the time I did, or it might have just been on college radio. I don't know if I did it here. I went in depth on the Clayton Kershaw postseason stuff for like 15, 20 minutes. Just explaining, like, this is why you're wrong. His ERA is bad. A lot of it is out of relief appearances, with only 2 innings of work and stuff like that. But that game was bad. It was awful. And then the next game was bad. And the next game was bad. And Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts, he got nothing out of them offensively. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. They got to win 3. I can't believe we spent 53 minutes on this. Barely talked about Ohtani. Not going to be able to pitch this season, but
I think we got enough for Ohtani. What do you mean, Dennis?
We talked about what it means, but I mean the stats with Ohtani, dude. I just can't stop looking at them.
I just think we can talk about Ohtani, and then it can lead to like many other stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You are right. Free flowing show.
So I mean,
but ridiculous with this guy, man. I can't stop looking at it. I just can't stop. 1 complete game shutout. How many 167 strikeouts in 23 games. So he missed 7 starts? What's his strikeouts? Led the league in strikeouts per 9 2 years ago. He was 4th place. He was 2nd in MVP behind Judge in 22. He was 4th in Cy Young Award. That's insane, bro. 172 ERA plus in 2022. What was his OPS plus? I want to know. In 22. Let me look.
I always did say I feel like Ohtani
144 OPS plus too. That's nasty.
Ohtani had a great He had a great year. I mean, I always say that he should have won it. He should have won it maybe in 22, but you could see why Judge won it.
Oh, definitely Judge and
No
Ward.
discredit to Judge. Like I said, Otani is just a superstar. Not saying he should win the MVP every year, but like I said, Judge set the new record for AL home runs. I get that, yes, but like I said, just the way he does it, it's just insane.
That's the question with Otani is should by letter of the law should he win it every year? Some people say like why not? I am one of those people that I think there should be like a Mike Trout embargo until he breaks some kind of insane record. Just because how many times can we give the MVP to a player that's not winning games?
Right.
And people are going to come back and say, well, it's more than one guy in the lineup. Listen, bull crap. Bull crap. That was not the same standard other guys have been held to throughout the entire 20th century. It's not the same standard other guys have been held to in this century either. It's not fair. Come on. Don Mattingly, one of the biggest reasons Don Mattingly's not in the Hall of Fame is he's the only Yankee that never won. Every other Yankee superstar, present, careers excluded, won a championship except Don Mattingly, kept him out of the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Other things did too, sure. But come on. And the way I saw Aaron Judge drag an awful Yankees lineup, not to the playoffs in 2022, Brandon, to the ALCS, does not get talked about enough. I
Yeah.
don't care. He's better than Mike Trout. I don't care what the stats say. I don't care what at the end the war crap. Aaron Judge is better than Mike Trout. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's a really good argument. That's not, it's not
it's just
ridiculous. No.
it's at the end of the day, I get it. People are going to say, well, this, that, the other. It all says it. At the end of the day, I don't care about the X's and O's. It's about Jimmys and Joes. Aaron Judge is a bucket, and Otani, I think, is a bucket as well. As is Mike Trout. Like no disrespect to him, but it's just now Otani is on a good team. Now there is expectations. Now he can't just be the little sideshow from the Angels. Now you got to be the whole shebang. You got guys in that roster now. Gavin Lux, pretty good player. James Outman was all right for a little bit. Jason Hayward found life again with the Dodgers. Will Smith, one of the best offensive catchers in the league, certainly one of the best in the National League. Max Muncy can still swing it. Like you have guys on that team, and that's with not just Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Two of the other top 5 hitters in baseball by wins above replacement per Baseball Reference with Otani. You have 3 of the top 5 players in baseball offensively on your roster. Dude, that's insane. It's one of those like numbers. It's kind of like his contract. We spent so much time on this already. His contract, that's so much money. It's almost nothing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's so much money. It doesn't set in with you that's 7/10 of $1 billion. What? That's insane. So yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right to talk about other stuff, by the way.
We only got like a minute and a half left.
Oh, we only have an hour of time. Shoot.
Where
do you think Yamamoto goes?
Do you think it gets decided around this time? Or do you think it extends to like the end of the month?
I don't know. I don't know yet. It's a good question.
I'm hoping he goes to the Mets. That's what I'm hoping.
Other big news, real quick, is to inform the audience here. Right-hander Jack Flaherty and the Tigers agreed on a 1-year, $14 million deal. Pirates signed Rowdy Tellez, poached him from the Brewers on a 1-year, $3.2 million. And Jung-Hoo Lee on a 6-year, $113 million contract with an opt-out after 4 seasons, goes to the Giants. And by the way, did you know that his nickname is Grandson of the Wind? That's a badass nickname.
That's pretty cool.
His dad was Son of the Wind, Korean shortstop legend.
That's pretty
I
cool.
forget his name, but his dad's name was Lee Jongbyum. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but that's a badass nickname. Good player. Um, I won't spend too much time on this, but career 340 hitter in Korea, KBO, 515 RBIs, 65 home runs total. It looks like there's some injured seasons last year included, 86 games played only, but really good contact hitter, and has walked more than struck out every single season of his career. Two times. When he was 18 and 19 years old, he struck out more than he walked, with only a 7 difference one year and a 16 difference another year. Every other year, 2, 3, 5 seasons, 6 seasons in a row, walked more than he struck out.
Yeah.
Good signing for the Giants. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he can do, man. More international players coming into baseball. I like it. Grow the game a little bit.
Where do you think he's gonna go? Yoshi.
Yamamoto?
Yeah.
I think he's wearing pinstripes, baby. I can't
Okay.
wait. I'm going to buy the Yamamoto jersey if he signs.
I want to get a Kodai Senga jersey if I had to.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to finish his career with you guys. He's going to be, 37, 38? Why not?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, unless, of course, they traded him, but, why would you even do that?
Right. No. I'm hoping he's in a Mets jersey.
Yamamoto?
So I'm hoping he's pitching with Kodai Senga, that 1-2 punch. It's gonna be really good in Queens if that happens.
Yamamoto and Senga. Who else do you guys got now? Your
Severino,
rotation?
Quintana, and
Oh, Sevy, that's
they
right.
said that if they don't get to him, that they're gonna pivot towards Blake Snell.
I wouldn't mind that for you guys. He walks a lot. He can't get out of the 6th inning to save his life, which I'm worried about with your bullpen. I really am.
Yeah, I don't know what
He
the
needs to be on a
problem.
team with a dominant bullpen. That's why the Padres. I kind of that'd be interesting to talk about, but I think the Padres, they hit him. I think a little bit. That's
What do you mean?
yeah, Josh. Bro, you got Josh Hader and some of those dogs in the pen. Tim Hill, right? Is that who it is? Jim Hill? I forget his name.
Yeah.
But they had guys that were. They always had a pretty decent bullpen, man. Since they got him, they were able to kind of hide the fact he can't get out the 6th inning. That's what That's what I'd be worried about with the team.
We'll see. For now, focused on Yoshi.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But all right,
He's going to be a Bronx.
we'll see about that, Dennis.
Yoshi
we'll
from the Bronx.
We'll see about that. I beg to differ, but like I said, hey, who am I to judge? Who am I to say? But all right, we good to go?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do whatever you want, Brandon.
All right. Be sure to check out our revamped website at www.easternobserver.com for the latest news in the world of baseball and so much more. We thank you for joining us in another edition of Battin and Chattin. For my co-host Denis Tuohy and the entire Black Jack Group media team, I'm Brandon Natale saying so long, and we'll see you next time. Our show is presented to you by Black Cats NYC. Be sure to download their newest hit single, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us, which can be found wherever music is found, whether that's Spotify, iHeartRadio, SiriusXM Satellite Radio, and many others.